Hello everybody, if you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if not, then welcome back to another one of my videos. So I feel like we're in a bit of a different setup today. I don't know if that's just my camera, but I don't know, I feel like we're a bit closer and I look a bit bigger. But anyway, welcome to today's video. I have a very fun recommendation video for you guys. So we're getting closer to the end of spooky season. And at first I thought I wanted to do a dark romance recommendation video part 2, but then I was like, I've had this one like able to recommend for a while. Why don't we just do this one? Because it just so happens that psychopaths tend to have a bit of a Halloween flair to them. So today I'm going to be recommending you guys some Psychopath Heroes because I don't know, all these books just fit into a Halloween category for me. They seem kind of spooky, they're dark obviously, and they just seemed kind of perfect to read this season. So I wanted to include it before the end of my spooky season content, and we're getting really close. It feels so surreal to say, like I was literally thinking about taking down my Halloween decorations the other day and it was kind of sad, but anyway, we're going to get into today's recommendation video. It's a bit of a long one. I think I have like 8 recommendations for you guys, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe while you're here. And let's get into this video because I don't have a lot of time to film this. I'm on a bit of a tight schedule today. I literally just realized that I'm running out of time to film this in the month and right now, but I was like, we need to get this done. Here we are. So this one, Dead Man Walking by Gianna Darling. This is a motorcycle romance, and yes, this is book 7 in the MC Club series that Gianna Darling has written, but I think you could read it as a standalone. I never recommend you read something in a series as a standalone, but if you really wanted to, you could definitely do it. You wouldn't be too confused. The whole series is just really good. You have to get past those 2 first books because they're not the greatest, but the whole series is really good, so I recommend the series, but we're specifically going to talk about Dead Man Walking, which follows Priest and Bia. So Priest is part of an MC club. Obviously, this whole series is an MC romance, and he is what they call the enforcer. So basically, he enforces motorcycle club rules. So if they have somebody that needs to be dealt with, he deals with them. You know what I mean? So him and Bia end up meeting when his sister starts dating the motorcycle club president, and they kind of have this little thing because they have some tension, but he's definitely like tortured, kind of like warning signs up, you know, everyone's like, don't get too close to him, you know, he's like really closed off and really kind of dangerous. And she's like, I think everyone deserves to be loved, because this is definitely a grumpy sunshine. She's very sunshiny. She is a little bit naive, but not like over the line for me. I quite enjoyed her, and they end up getting thrown into this plot together because this is also a murder mystery. So Bia has this murder mystery podcast and she loves it. She's like obsessed with murder mystery things, and then she actually has a real life murder mystery going on, and her and Priest kind of get thrown in it together. But this is just a really good romance between 2 people that deserve to be loved so much. Priest has definitely had some things happen to him that have shaped kind of the way he is. He's really cold, quite drawn off, and Bia is the only one that can kind of get him to like warm up and stuff, and it's so sweet. This is the classic like good girl, bad boy, psychopath, good girl, like, you know, that kind of dynamic, and I love it. I highly recommend this one. Definitely a psychopath romance, but it's also a little bit more on the contemporary side. Not too dark, but it is not like fully contemporary, obviously. Okay, my next recommendation is the last 2 in the Elite Kings Club series by Emma Jones. So this one you cannot read as a standalone. Oh, sorry, these aren't the last 2 books actually. There's a novella after this. But this follows Brantley and Saint, and I can't say too much about this because it is in an 8-book series and it follows all of those characters, and it's gonna have like a lot of spoilers if I talk too much about the plot, but just know, definitely psychopath romance. He's only sweet for her, and it's like adorable. So it's kind of similar to that last one where it's definitely a good girl, bad boy, but a little bit more darker, a little bit more taboo. See, I can't say too much more about it, but yeah, Brantley has definitely been through a lot. Their whole friend group is the Elite Kings Club basically, and he is definitely the one known for like violence first. He's very drawn off, very like no emotions, very cold, but he's not cold to her, and it's so sweet. So I can't say too much more about it really, but yeah, this one is a kind of like hidden secret identity kind of, and it's perfect for spooky season. Like guys, there's some elements in here literally perfect for spooky season, and yeah, I really think you should read it. This is my favorite couple in the series. I love them so much. This was the first recommendation that came to mind actually when I was thinking of making this video. I was like, Brantley 100% deserves to be in this video. And yeah, like I said, he's one of the main reasons I decided to film this video. Okay, next up we're gonna talk about a mafia romance. I have a few of them on here. I really love a psychopath mafia hero. Just something about it hits different. So this one is Lord of London Town by Tilly Cole. I will say that this one is a little bit more of a like entry-level psychopath, because Arthur is very closed off. A lot of stuff happened to him. Very tortured hero. Kind of all of these are, honestly. And yes, he's pretty cold, but he's not as much a psychopath as some of these other ones. So, like I said, kind of entry level, good beginner one. But this follows Cheska, I believe her name is, and Arthur. It's written in the UK, like UK English, and they're based in the UK, which is really fun. They do travel a lot though, but basically Arthur is in the mafia, or I think they call it mob actually, and he's been kind of like groomed to be their new boss, and he's had some shit happen to him, okay? Like, he's had a traumatic ass childhood, and him and Cheska actually meet when they're in their teens, and they kind of have this like tension thing, but they're a little bit from like opposing families kind of, and so they come back and they see each other a few years later, I think, and then they have a relationship from there. And this is another one where I feel like the heroine is just perfectly what he needs. Very sweet, understanding, and like he's only nice to her, but she's also just like exactly what he needs, you know? That's kind of the case for a lot of these. Like, obviously not every heroine could handle a psychopath hero, but these girls, they do it well. So yeah, definitely check this one out if you love mafia romance. Highly recommend it. My next mafia recommendation is gonna be, oh wow, I forgot what it's called. Twisted Pride by Cora Riley. So actually, I have a little like Cora Riley backstory before we get into the recommendation and what it's about. So I gave Cora Riley a few tries and she was not for me. Or so I thought, because I know everybody loves this one, right? This is like the most favorite of the Cora Chronicles, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it. It was kind of a mood read. I was kind of feeling in the mood for something like that, and I was like, whatever, I'll pick it up. So I read it and I enjoyed it instantly. Like, it was exactly what I wanted. It was so good, and yeah, it was just like a wild ass time, but I had so much fun reading it. So this is a mafia romance. It is also a captive captor, or more actually a kidnapping romance, because Remo, the hero, captures the heroine, whose name is Serafina, on her wedding day. She is set to marry this guy in the mafia, and she really doesn't want to marry him, but she's doing it for her family, and Remo like swoops in and kidnaps her because their families are like opposing mafia families, and that's his way of getting revenge. And yeah, he's very cold, he's very heartless. He definitely puts his family first, and Serafina's family has done a lot to his family, and he holds that against her and her family. So he's like set on getting revenge, but she gets in the way of that. They fall in love, and it is awesome. Like, it's so fun. This is definitely one with a bit of action in the beginning, especially like action, tension, drama, a lot of fun. Definitely like feuding families, kind of opposites attract kind of thing. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I was so shocked by it because I didn't think I'd like it, but I had such a fun time reading it. Like I said, Remo is like the favorite of the Falcone brothers because, well, I'm assuming because he's a psychopath. So all of them had a really traumatic childhood, and I feel like literally all of these heroes, like, they get that from their childhood. Anyway, he has a lot of trauma, and he is just very closed off, cold, unemotional, ruthless, but Serafina gets in the way of that and they fall in love. Literally the story of every one of these heroes. But if you're like me and you are kind of iffy on Cora Riley, definitely give this one a shot because it's like the best I've tried. Definitely a top favorite mafia romance. It was like so good. Okay, next we're gonna go to another mafia one. Why are these all mafia? I didn't realize there was like 3 mafia ones in here. Ronin in Reaper by A. Zavarelli. This is like an underrated mafia series in my opinion. These, I think there's 7 books maybe. They're all complete knockouts. They are so unique, so different. Yes, they're kind of like simple, but they're easy to read, easy to digest, quicker to get through, and they're just such a fun time. I don't know why a lot of people don't talk about these. I love them, but my favorite one obviously has to be Reaper by A. Zavarelli. It's book 2 in the series, and you don't have to read the first one. You may get a little bit lost and like the other drama of the other couples, but you could probably just give it a shot as a standalone. But yeah, this follows a dancer at a mafia club, and she was in a relationship, and that relationship was very toxic, and I think they were like fighting or something, and Ronan came out and literally killed the dude because he was being very abusive to her, and that's where their story starts. So that was like 3 years after the book takes place. They have a little bit of history, and it's not really a second chance kind of thing because that was like one encounter, but they've had a lot of tension since, and it like builds out and boils over. And this is such a great romance too because he is very inexperienced and he doesn't really know how to communicate his feelings. And stop, it is too sweet, okay? This is another one where they're literally perfect for each other. Oh my god, guys, there's a windstorm outside right now. I feel like the power's about to go off. We better get through this video. Anyway, they are perfect for each other. This is such a great romance. Inexperienced guy, shy guy, very protective, very possessive. All of these guys are, honestly. Come on, psychopath, like you gotta have it, you know? So yeah, definitely give this one a shot. A bit of a quicker read, like I said, but you should try it. Okay, the next one I actually have a paperback, and that is God of Malice by Rena Kent. So my friend on Instagram, Kiana, sent me this book. I'm so appreciative. I opened it in a vlog that I have coming soon. You guys, you can see my like live reaction to seeing that this book is fucking signed. Anyway, this is the book that started this recommendation video, kind of. I had the list of recommendations going for a while, but then I read this and I'm like, okay, we're bumping that up. We need to do this recommendation video now. So, God of Malice was recommended to me by Kiana as well. She got an art copy, I think, and I saw her gushing over it, and I was like, I know college isn't usually my thing, but let's give it a shot. And oh my god, I'm so glad I did. So, this follows Killian and Glyndon. I believe her name was Glyndon. Guys, I laughed when I read her name, okay? I'll be honest, but she is actually a very likable heroine. Just her name is not my favorite. Anyway, Killian, how do we put it? He's like an artsy psychopath who is extremely controlling and extremely possessive, but also is like very attentive to what Glyndon needs and like makes her happy. Like, oh my god. So anyway, this is a college romance. They are at this like really fancy kind of mafia school, and this is also a spin-off series of Rena Kent's other books, so a little bit of mafia in here, but it's like very low-key mafia. They're all from mafia families. It's like it's like college level mafia for them, you know what I mean? Yeah, they actually meet at the beginning of this book when something drastic is about to happen. So he kind of witnesses her doing something and then like blackmails her for it, and it's definitely good girl bad boy. Oh my god, she's like super innocent and naive, but not to the point where she's annoying. Happens a lot, you'd be surprised. So the relationship starts with him blackmailing her, but then it kind of goes beyond that. He kind of forces her to spend time with him, and then she's like, why do I like this? Why am I falling for him? Because she's like ultra controlling, ultra possessive, and a psychopath, but we like to see it. And actually one thing I loved in this one is they don't refer to him as a psychopath. There are quite a lot of characters in this who are what they call neurodivergent. No, I apologize, that was kind of bad. Basically, instead of calling those characters psychopaths, they call them neurodiverse, which I actually really, really loved. That's a term I hear often because my mom is a therapist, but yeah, I really enjoyed this book. Highly recommend it. This is a thick one, yes. I feel like it's like 400 or 500 pages. It's 400, but it is so fun, and the time goes really quickly, honestly. Like, I wanted it to be longer because it was so good. Once again, thank you, Kiana, for sending this to me. Thank you for recommending it to me. I'm gonna do y'all a favor and recommend it to you. Okay, our last one is gonna be a serial killer duet, and that is the Sinner's Something duet by Sophie Lark. I know I recommended this one in my last video, but I'm kind of second guessing my other recommendations that I had for this video, so we're capping it off at 7, and that's just what it's gonna be. I apologize. I just never rolls, and I can never recommend shit when I don't feel like it's recommendable for that trope, you know? Anyway, we're gonna go with this one. This is a serial killer romance. They are also very artsy, actually. So this is based in San Francisco. They are both in the art industry. Cole is very successful, whereas Mara is a bit of a struggling student. And they get thrown in each other's path when Cole is feuding with his other serial killer enemy in the art industry. Mara kind of gets tossed in the middle of their feud, and then it goes from there. Honestly, this is one that you kind of have to not really trust the process, but just like be along for the ride. You can't take it too seriously. It's a lot of fun though. Okay, everybody, I apologize. This video was a little bit short, but I feel like the power's gonna go out any minute because it is in fact storm season, and we had a storm all night, but also I'm a little bit rushed, so I'm very sorry. Not the content I wanted to put out, but Anyway, here we are. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to check out all of my links down in the description. You can find the affiliate links for these recommendations, which means if you purchase a book using the link down below, I get a certain commission. You can also find my Goodreads, friend me on there. I love seeing what everyone else is reading. Also my Instagram, my business email, all of that. Thank you guys for bearing with me in this video, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you are having an awesome spooky season, and I'll see you guys in my next video very soon.